What's up guys, it's Alex Dam. Welcome back to another video on the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you about the two most important things you need to keep in mind and you need to incorporate into your routine if you're trying to maximize your muscle gain in the long term. So if you want to make sure you can build as much muscle as possible and really fill out your potential and really just make as much gains as like you possibly can, you need to make sure you're following these two things, and I'm going to mention them right now. So the first thing is going to be injury prevention. This is very important. And the second most important thing for long-term gains is going to be enjoying your training. Alright, so I'm going to go through both of these topics in the video, but first we're going to start off with injury prevention and why it's important, and also why you have to incorporate and make sure that you stay injury-free. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but basically if you get any sort of injury, for example myself, right, in my case I got a torn pec. What that means is I'm gonna be out. I was out for 3 months. I couldn't even train any sort of chest, right? So if you injure anything that's major, if you get any sort of big injury like hurting your back or hurting your shoulder, or like me getting a torn pec, or even hurting your quads or something, you're not gonna be able to train that specific muscle group for quite a few months because you need to recover. Okay, but not only that, in my case, I can speak from personal experience, I wasn't able to train chest for 3 to 4 months at all. But also I couldn't do pull-ups. Why? Because when I went to do pull-ups, I did not have that strength there because the muscle was not attached there. And you think, what the hell? But it's your chest, right? That was injured? No, like it affects other parts of your lifting as well and your lifting experience, and you think about it all the time. Like you'll be doing triceps or something and you'll think about your chest. I couldn't do shrugs. There were so many things that I couldn't do because I tore my pec. So it's not only that you can't train that specific muscle group, it's gonna affect other parts of your lifting experience, which is also not going to be good for your gains. So staying injury free is very important, especially protecting your lower back and your shoulders, as those are two specific areas that a lot of people injure quite easily and frequently. I'm actually going through an injury with my knee, so right now I can't squat because every time I put on a decently heavy weight, when I go down to squat, it hurts my knees, which is not good, so I had to do leg press instead. So there is a silver lining there where I can do something else to replace that, but squat is the main movement, so I want to be doing that and leg press, or at least squats on its own. So my biggest thing for injury prevention is going to be warming up before your workout. Now I know there's a lot of you guys out there that straight away get to the gym, take off their jacket and get on the bench press and start benching. And yes, that's okay if you start off a lightweight. I used to do that, but I really recommend you take the time to really warm up before you actually start working out. You don't have to do like some extreme cardio where you sprint for fucking like 20 minutes straight. You don't have to do that. Just do little things like, for example, myself, every time I walk into the gym, I jump on the treadmill for at least 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how cold it is outside and how I'm feeling. Like if I've had a long ass day and I'm just like fucking over it, I'm not in the zone, I'll take a little bit more time to just walk a little more, specifically on leg day. But I do this on like chest days and back days and everything like that as well. So take the time to just do some sort of cardio. You could go on the bike if you want for a few minutes, just something. It doesn't have to be intense, it can be low steady state, but just something just to warm up your heart, warm up your body, your joints and everything, get everything nice and loosened up and ready for an intense workout, and also just get you in the right mental zone as well. You can even just like walk to the gym if you want, and also once you've done that, you should do some stretching as well. Some dynamic stretching, which means like, you know, doing stretching while you're moving. So you could do some lunges, you could do like 1 or 2 pull-ups, you can do push-ups, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. This is just to warm up your body and get you into the workout. And doing some stretches is very good as well. Now specifically for leg day, right, this is probably going to be the most important day when you have to really warm up and warm your muscles up properly. So for that, I'll walk on the treadmill for probably 3 to 5 minutes, then I'm going to go on the bike for probably 2 to 3 minutes. That's to warm up my knees as well, all my joints and everything, and then I'll do some stretching as well. And I'll put up a clip. You'll usually see me, I do this before every single workout. This is just to kick out my adductors, and also you can go on the adductor machine as well, just to make sure you stretch everything out, get everything nice and loosened up for your squats and for your leg workout in general. Because man, if you don't warm up properly, that is going to be probably the easiest way for you to get injured. If you don't do any sort of warm up, you're pretty much asking for an injury eventually. Yes, you're going to get away with it for quite a few, you may even get away with it for like a few years, but once you know you've bin lifting for a while and you've constantly torn down your muscle and your joints and everything, and you've used them and they've got more wear and tear, that's when they're way more susceptible to injury, just because you have more of a potential of an overuse injury, which I've been having a lot more lately, because after lifting for 6 years now, my body's really starting to feel the effects of myself not taking care of it properly in the best way that I can. So I don't want you guys to go through the same thing. So make sure you're doing your warm-ups, your stretching and everything like that. Take at least 5, 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't take long, just before you actually get into your proper weight training. And then once you've done that, where you've done a little bit of, you know, cardiovascular work, and also just stretching and dynamic stretching, just to get your heart rate up and everything like that, make sure you're ready for your workout. Then start off with a lighter weight. Don't just start off with 100 kilos on the bench press and be like, yeah man, I'm fucking sick, hunt. I'll warm up with, you know, people's fucking max weight. Don't worry about that. Just put on a lighter weight and work your way up towards your working sets, and that is gonna help you prevent injury for sure. And what does that mean? You're gonna have way more gains in the long term, because let's say you're at this level right now, okay? We're here. Let's say in 3 months, if you didn't get any injuries, you would go up to here, right? In the other scenario, you do get injured. So 3 months from now, you actually lose some gains, and you know, if you didn't get injured, you would be up there, but really you're below where you were at that starting point. So make sure you don't get injured. That's a big thing. And the second thing we're going to talk about is enjoying your training. Now, what do I mean by this? So training, you have to enjoy it, and you have to enjoy what you're doing. For example, like, I don't really enjoy boxing that much, or I don't really know if I do, but I can just tell you from personal experience that I don't do it, which means I probably is not my favorite thing to do. I like to lift weights. So another thing is, within lifting, you don't want to be doing lifts and certain exercises and rep ranges that you're not enjoying, because it's not going to be sustainable for you. Like, all right, if you have a specific goal that you want to do something that you're not enjoying for a little bit of time to get better at it, I can understand that. But for your overall majority throughout the year, your training, you need to be able to enjoy it, to stick to it, because if you don't enjoy your training, then you're not going to want to get yourself to the gym. And like, I'm not talking about being lazy and, oh, I can't be fucked to go to the gym. I'm talking about when you're not actually enjoying the training as much. That's very important that you do enjoy what you're doing. Like, for example, I don't enjoy doing about 12 reps. It's a bit, like, it's too high for me. I prefer sticking to an 8 to 10 rep range, right? If someone was to tell me you have to do 12 reps all the time, like, I could do it, but I would not enjoy it as much as 8 to 10 reps. And yeah, there's not too much of a difference within that. There's not too much difference, it's only 2 to 4 reps difference, but still, to me, I prefer going a little bit low in the rep range so that I can push heavier weights. And that's what I actually personally enjoy doing, right? Another example is, like, you have when it comes to certain exercises, you just have to do them because they're the absolute best. For example, those 3 would be bench press, squats, and deadlifts. Those are the 3 best exercises you can do if you're lifting for any sort of physique goals that you're going for. So you have to do them, right? But when it comes to accessory movements and isolations, that's where you have a lot more freedom in order to choose the certain exercises that you enjoy. Because there are multiple exercises for each muscle group that you can do that hits basically the same thing. So when it comes to lat pull downs, if you want to do this variation, or if you want to do the inner grip variation, or if you just want to use a different bar, choose the one that you prefer and that you like doing, and do that for months and months and months. And then if you want to switch it up, you can after a while, and then switch back. But make sure for your isolations, you pick the exercises that you enjoy. Like, for example, if you don't really like doing chest flies on a dumbbell, then switch to another exercise, like do chest flies with the cables or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, another easier example would be with biceps, right? There's so many different variations of curls that you can do, so choose the ones that you actually enjoy doing. So if you don't like doing standing barbell curls, find one of your machines where you're sitting down and you've got that isolation, and you know, you're doing the bicep curls like that. If you don't, but then you want to be able to do both bicep curls, because you want to do hammer curls and you want to do these normal, like, traditional curls as well, because they hit different heads of the bicep. But what I'm basically trying to say is, make sure you choose the exercise that you actually enjoy doing. And like, I've had a program that I've followed before, and some of the exercises on there I don't enjoy as much, so I switched them out for an exercise that is within the same muscle group, but I prefer doing more instead. And also, when it comes to like rep ranges and everything, and if you don't really enjoy powerlifting, then don't do powerlifting. If you don't really enjoy bodybuilding rep ranges as much, then hit more of a powerlifting approach towards your lifting as well. Don't just stick to one sort of thing that, like, let's say you hear something on the internet and you hear, oh, this exercise is the best, or this rep range is the best, but you don't enjoy doing it. Why would you take that advice and implement it if you're not actually enjoying doing it? Because you're gonna follow it for like a few months and then you're gonna get over it and be like, oh fuck this, I have to do this bullshit again. I don't enjoy doing it. Just insert any sort of example of training in there. Then you're just gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? But you know, the thing that you should never ever replace, in my opinion, would be squat, bench, and deadlift, just because those are your 3 compound lifts. And if you are injury free, which is not me, and you're just able to do those lifts, you should do them because they're the best exercises for your back, your legs, and your chest, 100%. But right now, I can't do squats because my fucking knees are wrecked, and I can't do really deadlifts as well because the last time I did it, I just popped out my back and it was very frustrating. So I want to make sure I get my core strength back and everything like that, and then I can do those lifts again. And also I can't even bench press right now as well, just because ever since I tore my pec, my left chest has been way, you know, it hasn't been as developed and not as strong. So I'm trying to get that strength back by switching to dumbbells, and it's been working a lot because now they're pushing the exact same way. And once I get this chest and this side of my body up to the same level as my right side, just because I am like dominantly right-handed, then I can start bench pressing again properly and it'll feel more equal. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy these tips and implement them. Make sure, the first one, right, staying injury free. So make sure you do your warm up, and you should even do your cool downs as well. Just 5 minutes stretch after your workout, foam roll a little bit, even walk on the treadmill just for a few minutes. Just put it really slow, like put it on number 3, number 4. Don't even put any incline. You don't even have to, just cool your body down. And make sure, you know, you've got that recovery back at home, getting in enough protein. You can take BCAAs as well, getting enough calories, and mainly specifically protein in order to recover. And your second thing is going to be enjoying your training. So make sure you implement things into your routine that you enjoy doing. Do the rep ranges that you like. If you really like doing 4 sets for 8 reps, then stick to that and do that. And eventually you'll get bored of it a little bit and you want to change it up. But make sure you're primarily doing the exercises and those sort of workout programs that you enjoy, and tailor them and customize them to the exercises that you know you enjoy doing. But don't slack off, you know, don't cut out, don't just be like, oh, I can't be bothered doing this. That's a bullshit excuse. Make sure it's actually, instead of doing this specific exercise for back, I'm gonna interchange it for another one. I'm gonna work just as hard because it's gonna work a similar part of the body. I just prefer doing this part, and that'll keep you enjoying your training a lot more, which is very important, because you know, what the fuck is the point in going into the gym and lifting, or just doing anything like boxing or jiu-jitsu, whatever the fuck you do, if you don't actually enjoy doing it? You're not going to want to do it for long. So just make sure that is something that you keep in consideration and you think about. But don't be a whiny bitch and just make sure you get shit done, because you know, I've always had those instances before. I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered doing this, I don't feel like doing that. That's not what we want about here. We just want to make sure we're maximizing our long-term gains by staying injury-free and also making sure our training is sustainable. And the best way to do that is to make sure you really enjoy it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel to join the squad. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button, and always remember to keep the pump.